Hey there, Chris Sev here. Adam Wathan recently tweeted about a new thing happening in the Tailwind world called the just-in-time compiler, and that's the JIT compiler. And basically what this does is that it allows us to have a little bit more flexibility, a lot more flexibility in the way we build out Tailwind, and we can do it all from as we're used to in Tailwind in our markup, in our templating language. So I wanted to make a video, talk about what it can do and kind of demo and mess around with it to see like the next version of Tailwind and see how fun this is going to be. The tweet is right here. I'll link to this below. Definitely watch the YouTube announcement that they have on the Tailwind Labs YouTube channel. Really, really great intro to the JIT compiler. Tells you a lot about why they made it and a lot of the solutions that it brings. And here is the GitHub repo. I'll also link to this down below. But if we scroll down here, Tailwind JIT, just in time, is the kind of experimental compiler that they have that gives us these things. Lightning fast build times, which is fantastic if your apps are having really, really big CSS files. It can drop things down to 3 milliseconds. Every variant enabled out of the box. This is something that caught me up every once in a while when I'm working with Tailwind, is maybe you want a focus visible to happen, or maybe you want group hover to happen on like translate. You can enable them in the Tailwind config.js. Here, everything's built out of the box and can be removed from the final build. All right, this one's really, really fun. Generate arbitrary styles without writing custom CSS. So that means if I wanted absolutely position something and I want the top to be negative 113 pixels right here, you could just write it in the brackets and it'll work. Tailwind will just know, oh, they want negative 113. So there's no more fiddling around with custom numbers in your Tailwind config. There's no adding in some inline styles, which I'm guilty of, but it's all good. Identical CSS in development and production. Since it is fast, they can purge in development. So now you can see I've deployed to production a few times and said, oh no, where is my class? Why is it not there? It's because it got purged in production. Now you can see that in development. Better browser performance in development. Awesome. Very good. So let's go and install it. So basically to do this, you install Tailwind CSS /JIT. And I have a Next.js project that I already have Tailwind in. I didn't want to kind of bore you all with the installation. So I'm going to copy all this right here and go into my VS Code right here and paste that in. All right. So we have that installed. And now let's go back to our GitHub repo, see how to work this thing. And in postcss.config.js, basically we use @tailwindcss /JIT instead of just Tailwind CSS. So if we go down here also, I want to show you something. The way that we could configure this in the future, this is a roadmap, not current, in the future. You could just say mode JIT here in your Tailwind config.js and it would work. No need to install Tailwind CSS /JIT, which is really nice. So I'll go back over here and I'll go into my post CSS config. And here I'll paste that in and I need the little quotes around it. And that's my post css.config.js. If you go into your Tailwind config.js, make sure you have all of your purge classes here. And my post CSS is right here. My package.json is here. I have Tailwind CSS, JIT, Tailwind CSS, post CSS, auto prefixer. So that is the setup. Let's play around with it. I'm going to go into pages, index.js. I am going to npm run dev this Next.js project. And this is Next.js, but this will work in any place where you have Tailwind installed with PostCSS. I'm going to balance outward and delete all that. And let's say div class name is min, height is screen, max, or let's go for background blue at 300, flex, item center, justify center. I know this is not any of the JIT classes yet. I just want to get a good foundation. And let's say hi there. And then let's go for 5 here and then text blue at 50. And we don't need either of those anymore. Okay, so let's see our project in action. Localhost 3000 works as expected, which is really nice. Let's see if we can get that dynamic number going. So we had top here. Let's go here and say 300 pixels. All right, let's try that out. There it is, 300 pixels. Awesome. Very, very cool there. Let's see what else we can do. So if we go up here, we have, these are the fun ones. Arbitrary value support. You could do width and specify a width. I'm guilty of doing style is equal to and doing like an inline style. There is color that you can do, background, text, and you could do it inside the brackets. Really nice. And this one's amazing. Complex grids. Let's copy this. Right now, you could only do, let's do a grid columns 4, and then inside of that, div times 4, and each one says hi. Right? So now we have 4 grid columns. Each one says hi, and let's go look. And we're over here. Hi, 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 hi. So those are all in the grid. So now if we go over here and actually say right here, grid, we're getting 3 columns. One is 1 fraction, one is 700 pixels, one is 2 fractions. Amazing. You can go down here. Oh, that didn't seem to work. Why not? Maybe we have to do grid columns. I should go read the docs again. There we are. So there's 3 columns, and then the 4th got dropped to the bottom. Let me zoom in here. So if I right-click, inspect this thing right here. Yep. Grid is right here. 1 fraction, 700 pixels, 2 fractions. Really, really cool right there. So that one I'm really excited for. I use grid a lot, and I have a video on CSS grid. Let's see what else is in here. All right, arbitrary value support, stackable variants. This is really cool. On medium screens, for dark mode, for disabled, focus, and hover, you can have background gray at 400. So instead of doing hover, background gray 400, focus, background gray 400, you just stack them. Really, really nice right there. And I think all variants enabled out of the box. Very nice. I think that'll leave it for the cool things here. But mostly, the ones that I'm really excited for are the arbitrary value support and all the variants enabled out of the box. I don't like going through the docs, figuring out what to config. This is really nice to have this right here and this right here. As far as how I feel about it, I think this is a really nice step forward. I think that having your inline styles is cool. Having Tailwind styles is cool. I think that definitely commenting out your code is more important than ever, especially in Tailwind, just so you know where everything is, right? Let me see this. Let's go 700 pixels. Awesome. So yeah, I like this step. I think that, I mean, it's definitely better than writing inline styles, right? I used to do this a bunch for width is like 700 pixels. But the problem with this approach is that it doesn't, you can't do it responsively. So you can't be like medium over here, but you can with these arbitrary value support. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's awesome. So next steps, just keep an eye on Adam Wathan's account, the Tailwind account, the Tailwind Labs YouTube channel. We will definitely see more of this coming out soon. And I think I might even switch over some projects to the JIT version while it's in development. It seems pretty stable from what I've seen so far. And I really like this arbitrary value support. Really excited. So let me know in the comments if you like where Tailwind is headed, if you really do like these arbitrary values, the JIT compiler. A lot of great work by the team. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.